Welcome to the July State of the Mountain. This month, we're looking back at Gribblin, looking ahead to the CogTower, and talking about what happens when school starts. Last month, we went through the Gribblin arc, which for me was the logical outgrowth of something I started back in December. I'm not going to lie, they were a little bit of a challenge. First, I painted much of that material while I was traveling on the road. Then I came home thinking the chariots would just go together quickly, and was quickly reminded that whoever test fits some of these miniatures back at Games Workshop should be sentenced to a dungeon in Slaanesh. I originally planned to film the assembly part, but since I can swear fluently in 3 different languages, I decided the channel did not need a demonstration. Still, we got them built. Gribblin launched his ambush, and the mountain survived another goblin uprising. Now, that entire arc really kind of helped clarify something important about this project. Barak-Karandul works best when the physical hobby and the story begin feeding each other. Sometimes I build something because the story needs it. Sometimes I paint something because I love the miniature and then the story has to make room for it. I still have things in the pile of shame that I keep feeding into the What If Lobe. Unfortunately, every idea it produces seems to require 6 other projects before the miniature can actually enter the story. Which brings us to what comes next. The CogTower. It's my next major project, but I need to be honest with you. School starts again for me next week. I am about ready to face a new cohort of Chaos Warriors, not easily defeated with the Dwarven Battalion. Practically, though, that means I will no longer have entire days to work on the channel, which means we're probably going to drift back into process mode, as I call it. Kind of like we did with the shrine and the brewery. I've started gathering pieces and making a few purchases, which has created some new challenges. First, this will be my first Kitbash ever, so yeah, I'm a little nervous. Second, once the What If Lobe fired up, I start looking for pieces that might or might not end up on it. I have no blueprint beyond the foggy one in my head, and since I don't have Engineer Burrell standing at my elbow, telling me to step aside and let an expert handle it, I got to do this myself. So what I originally imagined as a 2 or 3 episode arc may now become considerably longer. Now, to keep this from becoming 3 straight months of nothing but CogTower, I'm going to mix in some other things that have been lurking around the paint desk. And this is not going to be difficult because I currently have about 10 other projects that I really want to work on. One of those is the mine and everything that comes with that project. Now, the mine eventually needs to kind of sit here, but before that can happen, I need to build up this whole area right here and figure out how the butte is going to work on this side of the river. There are also miniatures and terrain pieces that need to be painted before other parts can go into place. So we'll work those pieces quietly alongside the CogTower in ways to keep the build and the story moving forward. At the same time, I keep saying I want to push my painting skills. I already have something in the works, and I've been doing a lot of study. And as the Tower series closes, Hal and I are planning a smaller paint project connected to that character and what is happening around the tower. Hal and I are also developing a practical exploration of paints that I hope will prove useful. And there is one more thing I want to try. If you would like to share something you are working on, a miniature, terrain, or project, I'm going to give an email address with some submission guidelines in the description below, because I would love to spend part of these monthly videos letting all of us brag on what you're making. And don't worry if it's not golden demon quality. I mean, mine are not either. That's not the point. The point is that we're making something, and that act of creation lies very close to the heart of Barak-Karandul. So that is the state of the mountain for July. The Gribblin arc is behind us. The CogTower is waiting. The mine is already beginning to take shape in my head. School is returning. The tower is still whispering. And somehow the list of things I want to build keeps growing faster than the hours available to build it. But in any event, the mountain is still moving. And for now, that's enough. Peace.